Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Andy and this is your monthly May reading for the sign of Scorpio. So, Scorpios, how are you guys doing? I hope that you guys are doing good. Full moon in Scorpio, right? That's what we really need to talk about. Coming up on the 18th, which is literally it's literally in like a couple of days. Wow. It's actually the 17th, so it's actually tomorrow. I'm filming this at midnight. I'm filming this rather late. So, Scorpios. Really intense transformation is happening this month, which is great. It's the best thing for you, right? And that is what Scorpio is all about. That is the sign of Scorpio. Scorpio is the sign of intense transformation. And being a fixed water sign, yes, known to be more stubborn, so it's interesting that you guys are known for transforming yourselves. And that's what Scorpio is about. Scorpio is about self-transformation, shedding the old skin, that's a thing that Scorpios do, not constantly, but I feel like Scorpios do that in major points of their life. And I feel like right now is a major point of your life where there are a lot of things that you're realizing that you want to let go, that you want to be released from, okay? And I really feel like that's what this month is really going to do, especially leading up to, and I would say around this time, so from the full moon, which is on the 18th, and then a week or two period after where that energy is going to be kind of lingering. I used this example earlier, I'm not sure if it's good, but I kind of see it as like the full moon, which is on the 18th, is going to be that initial impact. And then there's going to be kind of like a flow after. So it's almost like you're going to be like breaking through like a barrier or something, or breaking through like a wall, like you're punching through a wall. And that punch through the wall, making the hole in the wall is that initial bang, it's that initial, release that comes with the full moon of what has accumulated. And then like slowly, like after like a week or two, and for some of you it could be even months after this full moon, it's like there's something like water leaking out of this small hole that you made. So you made this small hole in the wall and now there's all this water leaking out. And all this water leaking out is like this water that needs to be let out, that needs to be released, which is good. So again, intense transformation for you guys, specifically around this time with the full moon in Scorpio and the energy and the lingering energy that's going to be left after, okay? So, Scorpios for the month of May, we have the Ace of Swords in reverse, okay? We also have the World in reverse, so ending cycles, okay? Ending cycles I feel like you guys are going to be ending anything, letting go of anything that doesn't feel right. It's like whatever you have, because Scorpios, like, you guys question a lot of things, like people's intentions and things of that nature. We have the Queen of Cups, in reverse as well. Beautiful. Love. She's so cute in this deck. Oh my god. She's so cute. Yeah, coming out of letting go, I feel like what's going to be let go this month, definitely letting go, like I said, because there's going to be intense transformation happening for you guys, for everyone, but really for my Scorpios. And it's like you guys are going to be like ending cycles, finishing up cycles that like if there are people in your life or situations in your life where you're like, what are your intentions? I'm not sure. Whatever you're not sure about this month, whatever you found yourself caught in, situations, people that you're unsure of, or there's a lot of like foggy unclearness around, that's what you're going to be letting go of this month. That's what needs to be cut out this month. And also be careful with this, because I feel like right now, and just the way that Scorpios usually think, is that you're always doubting people, you're always unsure of people. So I feel like there's just a lot of that feeling in your life, and it kind of almost even feels like you're kind of unsure, or you're kind of doubting everyone in your life, which I relate to this, because I've been feeling like this as well. Be careful not to cut out everyone though. And this is something that I've been like really reflecting on lately, because I've been distancing myself from everyone in my life, because I feel this energy, like I just feel like there's a lot of unsureness around me, and I'm not sure specifically where it's coming from, and it makes me kind of go into this like hiding hole where it's like, okay, until I figure it out, I'm not going to deal with anyone. Just know that, yes, that is okay to do for a small period of time, but don't completely shut out the people that are there for you. Does that make sense? So if there are people that are checking up on you, making sure that you're still okay, making sure that you're still alive, making sure, you know, and letting you know that they're there for you. It's not, I wouldn't say it's those people. I would say it's the people that when you distance yourself, they don't really care. Like when you create distance, if they don't show up, if you don't get a text or a call, they're not checking up on you, I would say it's those people that I would really be more inclined to cut out. And again, it's your life, do whatever the hell you want. I'm not telling you what to do. You don't have to cut anyone out if you don't want to. I'm just saying where there is unsureness, and where there is unsureness, I mean where there is complete, like you're like, you know what? And it's honestly like, it's not even like you're unsure, it's like you're sure. I feel like, if anything, I feel like it's like you're more sure about the people that aren't there for you, or the situations that don't benefit you, than you are of the people that actually are there for you, if that makes sense. I hope I said that right. Like you're more unsure about the people that aren't there for you. Or no, you're more unsure, now I'm gonna confuse you, sorry. You're more unsure about the people that are there for you. Like, I feel like you are sure, like you do know who it is or what it is that you need to cut out. And like I said, it's anything that has to deal with that fogginess, yeah. We have the sun. I don't know why I pulled another card, I was kind of done, but I'm just gonna keep that there for happiness. That's headed your way, that you can have, like you can have this happiness, okay? With the Queen of Cups in reverse, I'm just getting a feeling of needing to nurture our dark, shadowy aspects, which Scorpios, that is something that I feel like you're constantly, like, not even fighting with, you're constantly playing with. I feel like you're constantly playing with the dark side of you, the other side of you. You're always kind of like entertaining that side. And I feel like instead of just entertaining that side of you, entertaining the shadows and the dark thoughts and the negative things inside of you, in your mind and in your soul, that comes with being a Scorpio, that darkness and that intense energy, because it is just an intensity. And when things are so intense, I feel like that's how we feel that it's kind of a darkness. There is a call for loving those sides. You need to love the dark sides. You need to love every single part of yourself. You need to love the good things and the bad things, because there's good in everything and there's bad in everything. Everything has a positive and a negative. Everything has a light and a dark. Everything has a good and a bad. And I think that, and I talked about this earlier today, that in today's society we just get so caught up with perfection, the idea of perfectionism, and chasing after this thing that is unattainable and it's really unrealistic, that we kind of imagine that we can be perfect and that we can just be good and we can be just light, we can be just positive all the time, and that's not true. And that is why that idea and that chase of perfectionism is so dangerous, because it makes us forget that we can't be just good all the time. You can't, because you have a dark side of you, and that's what's part of living this human experience here on earth, is that living with the ego. Because wherever we come from and wherever we go, we don't have the ego, we don't have the fears and the doubts and the anxiety, we just have love. So I feel like that's part of this experience, is being humans on earth, is having it's dealing with those negative aspects. And it's not dealing with them in the sense of dealing with it and like destroying it or dissolving yourself completely of it. It's dealing with it in a way that you want to understand where that darkness stems from, and not getting rid of it, but accepting it and loving it as a part of yourself, as just another facet of your being. And I definitely think that that's what Scorpios, I mean, everyone struggles with, but I feel like Scorpios struggle with this a lot, because there is a really like dark, intense side of you where there's just a lot of like intensity, and there's a lot of overthinking as well, that happens kind of all the time, constantly. And I feel like it's just hard to kind of push away. Like, I feel like for other people, it's a little bit easier to push, not focus on the negative things and the darkness. But when you live in that darkness, which I feel like that's how Scorpios are, at least the way that they see, is that they live in their own darkness, that it's harder to push it away. So it's kind of like, you might as well just love it and accept it. You can't ignore it, you can't destroy it, you can't get rid of it. Why don't you just love it, accept it, okay? And I feel like that's what this month is really gonna be about. With Strength in the reverse, I don't think that I showed any of these cards at the bottom, actually. We have Strength in the reverse. So this month is going to call for a lot of strength. It's going to call for a lot of of reminding yourself who you are, because Scorpios are very independent people. So it's not about pulling the strength out of your ass. It's about pulling the strength, from within that you really have this whole time. It's not just pulling it out of nowhere, just magically, wishing to have the strength and the courage to do whatever it is that you feel like you need to do. So I feel like Scorpios feel like they need to do something. Like, they're like, oh, I feel like I need to say this to someone, or I feel like I need to say no to this, or I feel like I need to do this. Like, I feel like there's something this month where you feel like you need to do, but you need strength, you need that courage and that bravery to do it. And where that's going to come from is just reminding yourself, taking the time to remind yourself, remember, hey, I'm a really independent person. Like, and I feel like Scorpios are very good communicators. In the sense of not so much about their feelings, not about themselves. Like, Scorpios, are not good communicators about themselves, but they're really good at communicating about other things, because Scorpios are it's a very intellectual water sign. Very, very similar to air sign. Scorpios remind me of a very, very similar energy to an air sign. Where they're very intellectual, very, very smart, and that is why they're such good independent people, because I feel like independent people are really smart people, because they're able to do things independently. And I'm not saying that if you depend on other people that you're not smart or whatever. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I feel like independent people tend to be a little bit smarter, a little bit more sharper up here. And I feel like that is very much the energy that pertains to Scorpios. And I feel like this month is really just about reminding yourself that you are independent, and you have to be fairly smart to be independent and be good at being independent. I feel like Scorpios are very good at being independent. And again, very good at communicating things, again, when it does not pertain to your own feelings, your own emotions. That's not what Scorpios are good at, but that's why Scorpios make really good lawyers and therapists, because they're very good at, like, arguing. And in terms where that encompasses is that they're very good at communicating things and communicating ideas and beliefs. They don't like to talk about themselves, but that's a whole nother thing, right? So again, just taking the time this month to really remind yourself that you are an independent person. It takes a lot to be independent and be successfully independent. So take it easy, give yourself a break, give yourself a pat on the back, be grateful and thankful for how far you made it and how hard it's taken to get here. And remember that you must have had strength to make it this far. So that strength is within you, and it doesn't just come and go. It's always within you. It's always in you. It's just that you need to constantly remind yourself that that strength is there, that you can take action and cut out the things that need to be cut out and the cycles that need to be cut out, that you can love and nurture and face the dark parts of you, and you can challenge them and take them head on. And you will be happy, and then the sun is here. You're going to be so happy. You're going to be blinded by the sun this month, I feel like. So whatever, it could be literally going out in nature and spending a lot of time in the sun, but I just feel like that's what's going to happen this month, is that you're going to be, like, dazzled and blinded by the sun in whatever way, shape, or form that means for you. But again, that's just ultimate happiness, which is great, That's awesome. We have the Hanged Man. Okay, I'm trying to pick this up. We have oh gosh, I'm a mess. We have the Hanged Man here. So again, it's just because this breakthrough is going to happen for you this month, Scorpio, because you put yourself in the other person's shoes, or you put yourself in the situation's shoes. You're looking at the situation from a detached space, because Scorpios are really obsessive and possessive, and they kind of attach their emotions to everything, and that's why they have really intense feelings and intense connections, because they connect to things by nature. Like, their soul just, like, emotionally and deeply, like, roots itself to anyone or anything, and that's why you guys have such intense transformations and intense things happening in your life. And I feel like Scorpio, what's happening this month is that whatever you're dealing with, it's like you're like removing your emotions, you're removing that vulnerable state and the vulnerable side of you from the situation, and you're kind of like observing and you're seeing the situation from a different perspective with detached emotions, which is a very hard thing for Scorpios to do, is to detach their emotions from a situation. But I feel like that's exactly what you're going to be doing this month. You're going to be looking at things from a detached perspective. And that's just doubly confirmed with the King of Pentacles in reverse. So not really having any emotions, not really putting all of your own, not really putting like all of your eggs into one basket, but like not really putting all of yourself into the situation is what it feels like. You're kind of reserving a part of yourself, and that's what it feels like. It feels like you're only putting enough of yourself in the situation to deal with it, but the rest of yourself you're putting like you're keeping like 90% of yourself back to observe the situation, and you're only putting like 10% of yourself into it, just enough to deal with it, but you're really just observing. You know, and I feel like you're observing the situation or the people or whatever it is in your life that needs to be cut out, so that you can really make a clear decision, because there is a lot of like confusion, a lot of fogginess. But again, remember, I feel like you're just what I said earlier, Scorpios, excuse me, I feel like you're more sure of who or what needs to get cut out than what doesn't. And I would really only focus on what does need to cut out this month. So if you already have a feeling of who or what is no longer good for you, and again, this could be just behaviors, your own mental state, your own beliefs, people, situations, anything. I feel like you are very aware of it, because you are a very intuitive sign at the end of the day, and you're very, very smart this month, okay? So I just feel like, again, with the full moon in Scorpio coming up on the 18th, I feel like that is kind of when this is accumulating, and most likely when this is going to happen by. That there's going to be this release, you're going to be done with these people, or done with whatever chapter or cycle in your life needs to be done with, okay? So, oh, that's really loud. Right here, we are going to pull some messages from your higher self. So again, these messages come directly from your higher self. So higher self of Scorpio, what is the messages for this month? We have the Knight of Pentacles. So you could be offering something to someone, or someone could be offering something to you that is, you know, worth something, and that is something that wants to have a stable and committed it's a thing for the long run. It's an offer that's going to last in the long run, whether it's being presented to you or you presenting to someone. But your higher self wants you to be aware of this. And we have the Nine of Swords in reverse, as well as the Queen of Swords in reverse. So I feel like for some of you, and then just at the bottom of the deck, we have the Three of Cups in reverse. So I do feel like for some of you, you're going to be dealing with, you could be dealing with an air sign individual, or just someone who, I feel like in this case, because the Queen of Swords in reverse, she is a little bit stubborn. So maybe dealing with someone that is a little bit stubborn, and could be an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Doesn't have to be though, but it does feel like more of a feminine energy. And again, it doesn't have to be female as well, but just reading off the energies, right? So with the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, your higher self wants you to know that whatever anxiety or whatever confusion and crazy mental energy you've been dealing with, that is coming to an end this month for sure. You're going to be releasing that. And again, I do see this and feel that this is most likely going to happen around the time of the full moon, or in the waning energy after it passes. It's like that's what it's going to take away. That's what you're going to release. You're going to release your anxiety and your worries and your doubts and your confusion. You're going to be able to, I feel like you're going to be able to make a stable offer to someone or something. I feel like you're going to be the one that's going to be the Knight of Pentacles, because you're going to have this release. And once you release that, so you're going to be able to take that action, even though it's slow, even though it's not like you're going to rush into things. No, you're going to be very cautious. You're going to be, you know, because this is earth energy, this is slow moving energy. But I feel like whatever it is that you're going to offer, and I feel like most likely it is going to be you, but again, it's not going to be the same for everyone, because these are general monthly messages, so vice versa. But I feel like for a majority of you Scorpios, it's going to be that you're going to release this negative mental energy or whatever that you've been stuck in this month, and it's going to give you the motivation, it feels like, and even like the courage as well, to be able to give or make a stable long run offer to someone or something. And again, it could be vice versa, so happening to you. But again, and that could be dealing with a Queen of Swords energy, so just someone that maybe is being a little bit stubborn, someone that's not being clear with their words, right? Because she's in reverse. So normally this person is really good with their words. Normally this person is a really good communicator. But I feel like in this case, I feel like this person or this situation, because it could be a situation for some of you, they or the situation is not being 100% clear because they're choosing to be. Does that make sense? And that could be for a multitude of reasons, so don't go and assume, because that could be for any number of reasons why this person or this, but this energy, it's like they know how to communicate, they know how to be very good with their words and upfront, but they're choosing not to be. And I'm sure it's for a reason, because again, this is an air sign, at least the energy is an air sign individual, which what we know about air signs is that they're very, very smart. So an air sign doesn't just not tell you something or doesn't communicate properly or well just because they do know how. They're the best communicators of the zodiac, very, very intelligent. I feel like whatever if this person is not being very clear and being upfront, it's because it's like within good reason, like they have a good reason, or the situation there's a good reason why the situation isn't clear. Does that make sense? And it could very well just take you actually offering something in order to have that reconnection, because we just see people not really reconnect. Like, I feel like the Three of Cups in reverse is just like not everyone's on the same page, and that's why. It's like I feel like both parties are confused. Like, and this person, like I said, is retracting a little bit because within good reason. Maybe they're just confused and people aren't on the same page. And it very well just could be just you getting over whatever you need to get over this month and release this month, and then coming in with that offer for them to kind of like be like, for them to understand the situation better. Because I feel like this energy over here doesn't really understand the situation better. So again, your higher self just wants you to know that any negative mental energy or discomfort you've been having, a lot of anxiety, a lot of worry, a lot of overthinking about a certain situation or person, that's going to be coming to like closure this month. You're going to come to a clear-minded place where you're going to be able to make a decision. You're going to be able to offer something to someone. And that communication with that person and that connection is going to become a little bit more stable. Because right now it doesn't seem like it is. But I feel like it doesn't seem like it is within good reason for the other party or parties involved. And it seems like you dealing with your own thing and processing and making some type of a move, even if it's not super dramatic, is going to make everyone be able to be on the same page. I hope that made sense. Alrighty, so we're going to move on to a message from Spirit. So this last card is going to be just advice from Spirit. So this is just like overall advice for the sign of Scorpio for the month of May. So, we're dealing with this really, really like heavy, intense energy with the full moon in Scorpio. That, yes, of course, is going to affect you a lot. So, especially, it is gonna affect you a lot. It's gonna affect everyone. We're all having breakthroughs, right? We're all having really big breakthroughs, but Scorpios, you guys are really gonna have like really, really big transformational month. This is gonna be for you for the remainder of May. And again, since we already are like halfway through May, it could be that you're already dealing with a lot of this energy that I'm talking about. So let's see, what is the message from Spirit for Scorpio for the month of May? So dealing with like an intense transformation, having to let go of negative things in our life that don't benefit us anymore, whether it's people, beliefs, mental patterns, behaviors, anything, because you want more clarity in your life. So we have movement, choices, and decisions, which I believe is the Two of Wands in traditional tarot. So again, look at this. This is what you are presented with this month. Look at all the different gateways and doors. We have a wealth, we have marriage, we have growth, and we have thoughts and intellect and search of life. So we have all these, gateways and these doors. So this month, I feel like that's what's being presented to you, Scorpio, is that you have all these different options to go down. And it's really ultimately about what you truly want and what you truly desire out of life. Ask yourself right now in this moment, what do you want? Do you want love? Do you want money? Do you want, and then be specific, like if you want happiness, what is gonna make you happy? Does that make sense? Like maybe you'll say, well, I wanna be happy. Well, what's gonna make you happy? Is that job gonna make you happy? Is moving there gonna make you happy? Is dating that person gonna make you happy? Is cutting this person out gonna make you happy? Is, whatever it is. And it's not, yes, ultimately it is about happiness, but that comes from what is it that you desire, what is it that you want? Who or what do you want or desire? Ask yourself that and take the time to really answer that honestly. Let go of your fears, because I feel like a lot of you guys are even afraid to admit what you truly want and desire, even to yourselves. Like, forget about, taking action and actually doing anything about it. It's like you're really afraid to even admit it to yourself, what you truly want and desire out of life. So this month that's kind of what's that's kind of what the breakthrough is about, is that you're finally going to admit it to yourself, and once you do, it's like you're going to want to do something about it. And that's why we kind of see that there most likely is going to be an offer that you're going to be making once you release what needs to release and you find that clarity. You're going to see, you're going to be like, oh, I want this, so I'm going to apply for the job because that's what I want. Oh, I want to be with this person, so I'm going to ask them out on a date, or I'm going to tell them how I feel. Or I really want more money, so I'm going to set up a plan on how to save and how to budget and do that. Or I really want to learn more, so I'm going to figure out where I can take classes to study and whatever I want to learn. Or I want to move. It's just it's thinking about all those things, and like you're figuring out how to do it. And I feel like this month, it's like you're not going to jump in, you're not going to get the job, you're not going to get the relationship, you're not going to move. But it's like this month I feel like you're planting the seeds this month, because there's going to be a huge breakthrough, and right after that breakthrough happens, or right when that breakthrough happens, you're going to want to do something, and you're going to want to go plant those seeds. Just don't get too ahead of yourself, don't get too crazy, don't rush anything. And I don't think that you guys are going to, because I think you guys move very slow as a fixed sign. You like to take your time. So I feel like this month you're going to be planting new seeds. So you're not going to, you know, go get the flowers. You're going to plant the seeds to grow the flowers, because you want to grow them yourself. Alrighty, so that is all that I have for you guys. I hope that it resonated with you. Again, this was your monthly May reading for the sign of Scorpio. I would definitely apply this to Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus as well, because that is what we attract. And yeah, I hope that this resonated with you. I hope that it helps you in any way, shape, or form. If it did, I would like to know, so please let me know down below in the comments. Share this with your friends, and as well as if it didn't resonate with you, I would highly recommend to also check out your other placements. So if you're a Sun Scorpio, I would check out your Moon and Rising as well as your Venus. And all those other videos are up for the rest of the month of May as well. So feel free to check those out, and I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.